When it comes to Spider-Man No Way Home and the threats our heroes will all be facing, it seems like that the Sinister Six are going to be quite an opposing force. Now let's talk about some plot details that have possibly hit the internet that reveal just what exactly their plans are and what the Sinister Six all want. And it's not all the same thing. So according to some brand new leaks, rumors, online reports, whatever you will, it all comes from the same place, speculation as always. When we get to Spider-Man No Way Home and setting up the Sinister Six, it looks like Marvel Studios is going to lay down the groundwork and foundation for Sony to follow through with their long in development version of whatever they're doing. In this video, we are only going to talk about a report on what exactly the role of the Sinister Six will be in the upcoming third Spider-Man film. So we know that they are looking to assemble a multiverse version of the team, including Electro from TASM, Doc Ock from the Raimis, Green Goblin from Raimi, and a couple more characters like the Lizard, for example, from TASM 1. Then there's the other characters like Sandman, for example, who by the end of Spider-Man 3, we see he's not really a villain by choice, but he ends up falling into that mold and things go differently for him. And this is what's important in this one, because apparently, according to this brand new report, this is something that will factor heavily into the team. And it's this dynamic of not everybody has the same goal. You are going to get characters like Green Goblin, who is just dead set, must get rid of Spider-Man at all costs. Then you're going to have Flint Marko, Sandman, who is more apprehensive. And he's like, guys, I just want to get back to my world. My daughter, that's all I care about. I want nothing to do with taking out a bunch of Spider-Men. This isn't my fight. And it looks like that's going to actually carry over to the main plot MacGuffin, which is going to be some sort of orb that is obviously from the Sanctum, that has to do with everything with the multiverse and what's happening. And the Sinister Six realize that due to this orb and the multiverse spreading, that they can utilize that power and not only go back to their own universe, but also tap into the infinite multiverse of villains, of versions of themselves, and bring in other versions of the Sinister Six to further amplify their army and take out all Spider-Men across every multiverse. And this would be something that's spearheaded by the likes of Norman Osborn, who is the de facto leader of the Sinister Six. And apparently when they do use the orb and look through it, there is going to be this sort of look into the multiverse approach to it that confirms other villains. This apparently might be where they confirm the involvement of Venom, Morbius, and all these other things, thus connecting everything to the MCU. Which, again, this makes sense. And this report to me and these rumors seem very plausible because they don't seem too outlandish. Like, it doesn't sound too descriptive of everything, like individual dialogue or anything. It was just like a dump of, here's what's going to happen with the Sinister Six, which always, the lack of detail makes it more believable than going in detail. Maybe somebody's smart enough to do that here, but this honestly sounds pretty incredible if it is what it is, and I would love to see a sequence like this where you do confirm everything has always mattered, everything is canon now, and oh, you know, that version of Toomes that appears in Morbius, well, that's just a multiverse version, don't worry about it. Like, it's a good way to pull Sony in while not letting them into the playground.